a comment here in the chat from Denver saying the Monaco Grand Prix is dead. There is no way to save it. Lost its marquee appeal as one of the crown jewel races in the world. Well, I think when it comes to Monaco, I think a lot of people, like the people who enjoy it, is like for the pomp and circumstance, the history of Formula One, since it is, one of the iconic classic tracks of F1. But I think it's safe to say, that these F1 cars have outgrown Monaco. I mean, Monaco is not a bad track because Formula E cars, they can overtake and they put on a show here every year. Formula E, probably puts on the best race at Monaco. So it shows, you have smaller cars and, a good on-track product. You can put on a show here, but Formula One, cars just way too big and the streets are too narrow. So it's just really hard to do anything here in the streets of Monte Carlo. What do you guys think of what Denver said about Monaco being dead and there's no way F1 can save it and that it's lost its appeal as one of the crown jewel races? Starting with you, Tanner, and then Jonathan.
I think it needs a considerable facelift of some kind in order to improve the racing. I don't know exactly what that is, considering we're talking about a street circuit. I've thought maybe if we take the chicanes out of the track, it might make it better, but it also increases the danger factor of the racetrack and how fast the cars are going. So that's a whole other can of worms that you'd have to consider. As I put in our chat here, to kind of go with Verstappen's comment, bring item boxes to Monaco next year. I mean, it can't make the race worse to see a couple fire flowers and red shells get thrown around. So, F1 kind of did the wrong collaboration with the wrong animated character in Mickey Mouse. They should have done something with Mario Kart, so that way we could have a actual exciting race at Monaco, seeing 24 racers in Mario Kart World take that on here in a few months. But to get back to the question, I think if we just keep doing the same thing at Monaco and expecting something different to happen, we're just not going to have anything different happen. So, I mean, obviously we hope, and we talked about it in our, lead up to this week, that maybe having a shorter wheelbase and just an overall less lengthy car might make the racing better, but I can't imagine 4 inches this way and 8 inches long ways is really going to go that far in making Monaco a great race.
Man, that's cold. Working with the wrong animator, Mickey Mouse instead of wow. Whew. Man, colder than the water. Wow. But I think if they're going to make changes, they got to make changes that are going to improve the racing everywhere else. Something that can, a rising tide lifts all ships. Something like that, where you're not only going to make the racing better at Monaco, you're going to make the racing better at other tracks where it may be kind of lackluster. So, I don't think it's dead, but it's definitely in a lull. We saw this with the Coke 600 too, where I think 2021, where Larson was pulling out to a 10-second lead. It was bad. Yeah, we can say that now because we have great racing, but it was bad. And people on Twitter were saying, man, why do we run 600 miles? This should be 600 kilometers. Why do we do this? Why is it worth it? It's not dead. It just needs some changes, something to kind of refresh the racing.
Yeah, I don't want to take it to hospice care. It just needs some physical therapy.
Yeah, or occupational,
Or occupational.
Yeah, that's definitely the best way to put it. And Jordan Bianchi from The Athletic said that he believed Monaco needs a facelift like Atlanta had, something to try to spice up the action there. I don't really know what much they could do with the streets of Monaco to try to make it better. So I guess we'll continue to have this discussion year after year. We'll go to the 2026 Monaco Grand Prix. The racing will be just a procession. It'll be just as boring as it was this year. And then we'll be asking the same question 1 year from now on Grid Live wrap up on this Memorial Day Monday, saying like, what can we do to improve the racing at Monaco? So I think that this will be an endless discussion we'll have until we're no longer around,